Hi everybody, welcome to our program. I'm Wayne Soares. Our conversation is with Tony Schiavi, a candidate for State Senator, Cape and Islands District. He's also a retired Brigadier General, having served his country with great honor and distinction. Tony, great to see you.
Wayne, great to see you as well. Thanks for having me here.
You've created a lot of positive buzz since entering this race. Tell the voters, tell people, who is Tony Schiavi?
Well, I think first of all, I want to let folks know I am, born and raised in Massachusetts. I have a degree in mathematics. I have an MBA from City University in Seattle. I did spend 30 years in the United States Air Force, a veteran of the Persian Gulf War, 9/11, did 3 tours overseas. But I spent 20 of those right here on Cape Cod, and I've been a resident here in my 25th year right now. And the Cape is really our home, and it's been our home for a very long time. And we're vested here in the community. I want folks to understand that and realize that our grandkids are being raised here as fourth generation, Cape Codders. And so we really are a part of this community here. And I was fortunate enough to rise through the ranks of the military and, command the 102nd Fighter Wing and Intelligence Wing, great men and women, but also worked on saving jobs for all of them and their families back in 2005, which really got me energized about, getting into politics at some point, realizing that we need good people in public office to, help and create jobs and take care of our community. In addition to that, I've owned 2 small businesses here on Cape Cod, so I understand the business community and their needs. I'm also a appointee by the governor on the Military Asset and Security Strategy Task Force, and also sit as a legislative appointee on long-term care and housing for our veterans. So I come to this with a great deal of experience working around Beacon Hill, also working around the Capitol in Washington through much of that time. When I retired, I went right into local government and spent 3 years as a town manager and police commissioner, working right down at the ground level of how communities operate and the needs that exist today for pretty much all of our cities and towns to make their communities vibrant.
I want to touch on, you mentioned that your work, your leadership in the military, you've also dealt with Beacon Hill, so you're not new to the political arena.
That's correct. I've worked with legislators both at the local level, state level, and certainly at the federal level as well, and done so very successfully to bring good things to those that I was serving at those times.
You're a very energized person. What motivates Tony Schiavi to run for State Senator?
Well, I think this particular time, we're at a point where there's great opportunity here with bringing this Cape and Island Senate seat back into Republican hands to really work and create something that, our state government is leaner, more efficient, is more responsive to our cities and towns, because I believe that it really ought to rest at the local level so that they can work to create their own destiny and how they want to change as a community. And we can do that with state government, by being leaner, more efficient. I think we can also look at how we're giving out local aid, especially Chapter 70 funding for our school systems here on the Cape. There's a number of areas where I think the Cape is disadvantaged, and we need a strong, positive leader in this Senate seat to help affect change in those areas. But it also affects public safety, services to our seniors, services to our veterans. We have the opiate epidemic that's staring us pretty much in the face every day and affecting lives in our community, the business community as well. We need, job growth and creation here on the Cape. We have to create an economy that allows young people to be able to live here, to raise their families here, just like we did. But we have to back that up with housing too, that's affordable for them, so that they can do that. And those are just a couple of the major issues that I see, as well as making sure that we care for our nearly 26,000 veterans that live here on Cape Cod and our seniors as well.
Touch a little bit, Tony, on higher education. You mentioned that. It has just been taking so many hits with budget cuts and so forth. It's a very, very, very important part, I think, of your campaign as well, because you're
Sure. Yeah. I'm very pro-education. I'm not in favor of Common Core. I think we need to keep teachers in the classroom actually teaching our students. And we have good school systems on the Cape, and we have a diverse array of school opportunities here, education opportunities. But that also goes to the next level with even higher education. I would love to see a full 4-year program here. I know Bridgewater State is here, building collaborations with the community college as well, but also looking at bolstering the post-high school opportunities for those that go to our tech schools, which are phenomenal programs, so that they don't have to leave the Cape, because not everybody can sort of do the standard 4-year college program like many of us did, and need to be here to either work, support a family, or what have you. And I think that's important we have those opportunities for our students.
You have 4 candidates in this race, 2 on the Democratic side, 2 on the Republican side. In your opinion, what qualities do you feel are best suited for this candidate that's going to win this election.
Yeah, and all the candidates in this race are all very, accomplished folks. I bring something a little bit different to the table, primarily because of my experience, both military and local government. I think sets me apart from the other candidates, but I think in a positive way. And so that's what I bring to the table. 30 years of, demonstrated executive level leadership that's backed up by many, many accomplishments. I tell folks that, for me, it's leadership, experience, and it's what have you accomplished. And I think that track record that I bring to this race, as well as my passion for those that I serve, my commitment and my dedication, and I do that with a high degree of energy, I think sets me apart, I think, from the other candidates in this particular race, but I think so in a positive way.
Touch again on leadership. It's so strong right now, and in the political arena, so many people talk about it. They talk the talk, but they don't necessarily walk the walk. How important is strong leadership in our political arena and also in this race?
Well, it's very important. I mean, I've knocked on hundreds and hundreds of doors across the Cape, and the sense that I get is, people want to feel safe and secure in their communities. They're expecting a lot more of their public officials today. They want to put somebody in office that they can trust, that they know will make the right decisions, tough decisions sometimes, but to do so for the benefit of those that they serve. Because many times we get a lot of overpromising and under-delivering. And what I tell folks is, look, I am going to work hard every single day to bring positiveness to every community in this district, and to work with different stakeholders in order to do that. And I think that's one of the benefits that I have, is I've worked with a wide variety of folks, different stakeholders, and actually accomplished some really interesting things throughout my career, even in town government.
Touch on integrity and character. Those names, those adjectives seem to be associated with you since you get into this race. How big is that?
Well, I mean, I come with obviously a long career. Whether it's my military career or town government, I've always been lauded for integrity, ethical behavior, making sure that I'm focused on the job that I'm giving and the people that I'm representing. Certainly in the military, saving over 1,300 jobs and giving folks hope that there's life after the airplanes left Otis, just not far from where we're sitting, because they were worried about that. And I had opportunities to leave and go to with the airplanes to another unit, but I couldn't abandon them. They were looking at me for leadership, to show them the path, show them the light, and we created something great called the 102nd Intelligence Wing, and secured those jobs, those futures for those families. And same thing in local government. When I showed up in Ashland, worked through some difficult times when I first got there, but one of the selectmen wrote that at the end of that, the work that I did helped the town to believe in itself again. And those are things that people don't say for just any old reason. They say them because they mean them. And you'll find that I'm a public servant. I view myself as a public servant, and there to work for the folks that put me in office.
You're obviously a tremendous amount of passion for veterans, you being one yourself. You get elected state senator. What are you going to do to help our veterans?
Well, veterans on the Cape, we have 26,000 veterans on the Cape. They suffer a higher degree of homelessness, joblessness, and suicide than the general population does. What I want to see is more services available right here on the Cape, so that they don't necessarily have to travel off Cape to Providence or Brockton, although they get good care there. It's difficult for some of our veterans to make that trip, and I want to see more veteran care right here on the Cape, more veteran housing opportunities here on the Cape, to help our veterans that are homeless or struggling. And I know I can do that, working with our state government and working with our federal government as well, because the VA is a federal entity. But I have experience with working with them on those type of issues. And so, they need to be a piece of this as well.
Anything else that you'd like to add as far as your candidacy?
No, I think we're at a crossroads. I look at myself, and again, we have great candidates in this race. It's been really good to have. We had one debate so far. It was really enjoyable. But I think for myself right now, I think I'm the right person at the right time, really with the right set of skills developed over a very long career, as I said earlier, that can really help to affect positive change for the Cape and Islands District. Our
guest has been Tony Schiavi on our conversation here tonight, candidate for State Senator, Cape and Islands District. He's also a retired Brigadier General. Have a good day today and a better day tomorrow. See you.